Welcome to the sanctuary of Oxford Presbyterian Church, where, as we have been celebrating the history of the Reformation and our heritage as Presbyterians, I have been so reminded of how over the years, decades, and centuries, it can be easy for us to have our worldview narrowed to the time in which it can be hard to imagine that any other time could have been filled with as much anxiety or worry or uncertainty as our own time. And so it's so good for me to be aware of our forebears and life and faith and how they lived through anxious, uncertain, and worrisome times. And so there's been a quote from Frederick Buechner that has been so helpful for me that as we think about our heritage in the Reformed tradition and as Protestants, I'd like to offer to you today. Buechner writes that the biblical view of history is not an absurdity to be endured, or it's not an illusion to be dispelled, or it's not an endlessly repeating cycle of events to escape. No, the biblical view of history for each one of us is a series of crucial, precious, and unrepeatable events that are seeking to lead us somewhere. Buechner continues, the true history of humankind and the true history of every individual has less to do than we think with the kind of information that gets written into history books, in biographies, and autobiographies. Buechner concludes, he says, the true history has to do with the saving and losing of souls. And both of these are more apt to take place when most people are looking the other way. I'm aware of how anxiety and worry and uncertainty distracts me from the present moment. And how when I'm looking away at the anxiety, I'm missing the true history that's happening in the present moment. So as we've been studying Paul's letter to the Romans, Paul is really focusing those disciples of Christ in Rome on the present moment, on making the true history that is theirs to make. Paul writes for them that the stakes are high and the mission is clear. And friends, that's true for us as well. The stakes are high and the mission is clear, that we all have a role in Christ's mission. Making true history is ours to do. So this week, as you may be wrapped up into news that create anxiety or despair or uncertainty or worry, friends, I pray that you would find the true history to be made that is yours to do, and you would see how God, and only God, knows how you and your gifts will be used here and around the world, now and in the future. Peace be with you this week.